During this video tutorial, we're going to demonstrate how to draw one of our title blocks, and the title block drawing we're going to draw is the TBAL-MS. So I'm going to open AutoCAD, and I'm going to show you the drawing that we're going to be drawing on. But I'm not going to be flipping back and forth on the screen. I have a paper handout copy on my desk. But you can have this video open as well as your box.com version open on your second screen. So I'll close this down and I will go back to AutoCAD here. Now, of course, anytime we set up a drawing, we're supposed to use our basic setup procedures. So I also have a basic setup procedure on my second screen. You can have yours open as well. The first thing we need to do is set up our units, and so I'm going to type in units. And we do need decimal, and we need a 3-place precision. So I'll set that. Inches is fine. That doesn't matter, so click OK. The second step is a scale factor, and our scale factor is 1:1. So if I go my third step, drawing limits, I'll type in limits, and our lower left should be 0, 0 inside the chevrons. Notice that the decimal precision reflects what I set up. So I hit enter, and then if we look at the drawing, it says our limits are 11, 8.5, and we'll hit enter. The next thing we need to do is set up our grid. So if I go down here to our settings, I'll turn the grid on. 0.5 is what we should be because it's 0.5 times scale factor, and our scale factor is 1. Any number times 1 is the same number. And we'll turn off our adaptive grid and display beyond limits. Then our next step says zoom all, Z enter, A enter, and then it says set up your snap. But I think I'll use the snap in this drawing. So I'm going to go down to snap settings, and I'm going to turn my snap on. But I'm going to set my snap to 0.375. Because that is a number that everything is divisible by on this drawing. So I'm going to also set this to 0.375 as well. We're going to temporarily suspend our rule, and we're going to set it to that. And you can see it's changed. You can't see the snap operating until you're inside of a command, draw command. Now you can see it snapping. Okay, so if I go back and I look at my basic setup procedure, my LT scale should be 0.5 times 1, which is 0.5. And then it says text style. Now, if you've created your text styles already, that's great, but I'm going to set them up one more time. So I'm going to go Style, using Standard. I'm going to go New. With my cap lock on, I'm going to go Mech Text. Click OK. Mech Text is Arial, so I'll go select my Arial. And there it is. Clicking on that, I'll go New. I'm going to call it Arch. Yes. Arch Text. And my Arch Text is going to be Stylus BT. Remember, they're alphabetized, but it's easy to miss, even though it's alphabetized. So Stylus BT, and there it is. And remember, we don't set our text height here ever. It's always 0. Notice my text height is 0 on both of them. I'm going to be using my mech text, so I'm going to set it current, change to mech text. I can close now. So the last thing is scale. It says increase the size of the original title block. Well, we don't have a title block yet. That's what we're actually going to be drawing. So if you look at the title block handout, it says the rectangle size is 10.5 by 11. So I'm going to go up to my rectangle command. Lower left corner, 0, 0. My second corner will be 10.5, 8. So I now have my outside rectangle. I'm going to explode that rectangle so I can modify it and change it if I want to. It also says in the handout the text height is 0.125, which we'll need that for later. And then it tells us to save the drawing as TBAL-MS. Well, since I've done a little bit of work already, I'm going to save it out to the desktop with TBAL-MS. I always have my cap lock on. All caps are easier to read, quicker to spot, and so I'll click Save. And now notice at the top it's changed to the drawing title and where it's saved. I'm saving it to the desktop temporarily. After I'm done with the drawing, I can drop it into my folder in box.com. So let's focus on this top corner of the drawing right here, and let's create what is called the rev box. So if we look at the rev box, we can see it's 5 inches long, it's 1 1/8 tall, and the lines are all 0.375 down from each other, and they're 0.75 wide in the first one, and the second one is 1.75. So I'm going to turn my snap on, which it is, okay, and well, I can't use that for this one because we're not setting a number divisible by 0.375, so even though I set it up, it won't really work very well. So I'm going to go to my offset command, and I'm going to type in 0.375. I'm going to offset this down this way and that way, and then do one more. I'll hit escape, spacebar brings me back in, and then I'm going to type 5. I'm going to hit enter. There it is. Now I've got some portions of the lines I don't need, so I'm going to go up to my trim command, and it says select cutting edges. That's a cutting edge, and that's a cutting edge. I hit right click to say I'm done selecting. I'm going to select this, I'm going to select that, hit escape. So I've just trimmed everything out. So I'm going to go back to my offset. I'm going to go 0.75. I'll offset this over to that side, hit escape, spacebar brings me back into that command. My next one's 1.75. I hit enter. I offset this one over there. So my top rev box is completed. Now I'm going to focus on the title block portion down here. So I'm going to go back to my offset command. I'm going to type in 0.375, and I'm going to click on that one up there and that one right there. Hit the space bar. Go back to offset. My first line is 1.75. So I'll click on that, and I'm going to hit escape, get out of the command. I'm going to go back to my trim command now. Here's my cutting edge. Right click, click on what I want to get rid of. Okay. And so now I can offset this one over 1.75 again, because if I do that, that really gives me a distance of 3.5, which is what the handout says. I just did the math in my head. So I hit escape. And then the next one is 7.5. That's a little bigger, so I'm going to go 7.5, hit enter, and I'm going to bring it over. Okay. I'm going to trim it. Here's my cutting edge. Trim that out. And then I'll do it one more time. It's 9.25. So I type in 9.25, click on what I want to offset, click to the side I want to offset it to. And I go back to trim. Here's my cutting edge. I cut that out. Now, if you look at the drawing, you'll notice some of these lines don't go to the top line. They only go to that second line right there. So I'm going to go back to the trim command. I'm going to click on this as my cutting edge. I'm going to right click. I believe this one right here is shorter, and this one right here is shorter. And there we go. So now the title block itself has been created. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to create the text. Now the text in this drawing we have to use dtext, because anytime we scale up our title block, if we don't use dtext, the text will get all messed up and it won't work properly. There's ways to fix it, but using dtext will just make it work much easier. So I'm going to type in dtext, and I'm going to go J for justify, and I'm going to go on my first one is middle center. So I'm going to go MC, and I'm going to go shift right click. I'm going to go mid between 2 points. Here's my first one, here's my second one. There we go. And our text height is 0.125. Hit enter. There's no rotation. With my cap locks on, I'm going to type Reed Custer High School. You'll have to ignore the fact that it says Joliet Junior College. Remember, this is a dual credit, and we're using their drawings. So I clicked outside of it, gave me a cursor over here. I'm going to hit escape. That's the only one that's middle center, though. All the other ones are centered to the left. Now they're actually centered 1/8 of an inch off of that the left edge, but we're going to make them touch the left edge, and then we will move them over 1/8 of an inch after we get the text created. So I'm going to go dtext again, J for justify. This time I'm going to go middle left. Or let's see here, middle left, middle, there it is, right there, middle left. And then I'm going to go shift right click mid between 2 points, this one and this one. My text height is 0.25. Notice it's inside the chevron, so I can just hit enter, and there's 0 rotation. So I'm going to go scale 1 equals 1. And I'll click OK. Now I'm going to move that over 1/8 of an inch. Okay, I'll click there, and if I go at symbol 0.125 less than 0 straight to the right, it'll move it over 1/8 of an inch. Then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put this text everywhere I have some text. Because my original is positioned correctly, this one will be positioned, all the copies will be positioned correctly. Then I'm going to go D-text, I'm going to click on, hit escape, DD edit, sorry. Type DD edit, click on this, and I'm going to type DATE, not DD, DATE, colon, and then the date. Today is 5-31-2017. There's my date. I'll click on this one now. I'm going to say title, colon, quote, a quote, size, title block. Click on this one. It's going to say drawn by, colon, and then just put your name. Of course, your name isn't Mr. Smith, but that's okay. You put your name. And then I'll put dwg.no.tbal-MS. And then I'll type this one in, which is grade. Now this is not the grade that you're in school, like 12th grade or 10th grade. That's the grade you receive on the drawing. And then the last one is rev.0. That stands for revision, because in this class you have the opportunity to revise your drawings and make them better. Okay, so I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to go back to D-text, and it's asking where do I want to put your text. I'm going to go justify. We're going to go middle center. I'm going to go shift right click mid between 2 points, here and here. Text height is 0.125, rotation REV, dot. Okay, hit escape. Spacebar brings me back into D-text, justify, shift right click mid between 2 points. Excuse me. I have to go middle center first. Then I'll go shift right click mid between 2 points. Click there, hit enter, and it's going to be DATE, colon, and click outside of there, hit escape. Spacebar brings me back into the same command. Justify, middle center, shift right click, mid between 2 points, click here, and the last one is description, DESCRIPTION, description. Click down there, hit the escape. Spacebar brings me back in. Justify, middle center, shift right click mid between 2 points, hit enter, and put a 1. Now I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to do DD edit, click on him, and make him a 2. Now I'm going to hit escape, zoom all, and I've just created my title block with the rev box and the rev box text, and I've created the title block down below with the title block text at the bottom. And this is a title block you'll use every time you create a drawing.